Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. How you doing today? It is Sunday morning, and we are talking with the one and only Laura Morby. How you doing, Laura?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. So if you follow my channel at all, you know I am calling for what I'm calling the great housing slowdown. This is not a crash. This is not the 20–40% crash that people are out there. I'm just talking the great housing slowdown because what I see coming is a couple of fold, and then I'm going to ask you if it's going on in Arizona, okay?
Of course.
So first and foremost, people went from fear of missing out, FOMO, to something now I am calling FOO, F-O-O. Have you heard of that? She's like, I'm nervous. So this is FOO stands for fear of overpaying.
Oh yeah, so many people have left.
Right, they're like pulling back, they're doing all of these things. And then what I see going on is people are starting to enjoy their summer. So what do I mean by this? In my daily financial news this morning, I highlighted the foot traffic at Home Depot and the foot traffic of casinos to highlight what I am talking about. This is crazy, crazy numbers. So Home Depot, Laura, would you be shocked that foot traffic at Home Depot is lower today than it was in 2019? Would that shock you?
No, not right now.
How about this? Would it shock you that casino foot traffic is up 50%, not from 2020, mind you, from 2019, right? Before all this nonsense started. Foot traffic at casinos up 50%, Home Depot down from 2019, a la housing slowdown. What do you think?
I think that's a perfect way to demonstrate that. And it is interesting because all you hear about is how terrible coronavirus has made everything. And yet all I see is people spending money. And not only that, but if casino traffic is up, just wasting it too.
Yeah, just burning it.
So like they have money to like not only spend, but to waste. So
yeah, pretty great. Yeah, if you want to talk about that, just because it's fresh in my mind, I did the math this morning because I'm a data guy, right? So yeah. Where is it? Here it is. The American family households have an extra $1.92 trillion in savings, right? That's a big number. That big number is so big, it means nothing to me. But if you divide that by 129 million households, you have an extra $15,000 in savings per household. And right now, and apparently they're all blowing it in Vegas.
That would be a good down payment for a house.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
In a lot of the US, that is a down payment. So
oh man. Oh my gosh. Yeah, definitely not where you're at, but
yeah, not where I'm at. It's like, yeah, it's like 1%. But this is why we're in a housing slowdown, right? And not a crash. It's a plateau. You have a lot of people that came into, I'll call it June and July, right? Because now we're in August. God, it hurts my head to say we're in August now. But June and July kind of off the housing craziness.
Yeah.
We opened up, right? We celebrate masks off 4th of July or whatever it was. People start going out. I even left and did a trip. I was like, I'm getting freaking out of here. Yeah.
I didn't know you left.
Yeah. We went to, where did we go? We went to down south. We had Dana Point. But so, yeah, that's what everybody's doing, right? I'm going to stop because again, right. Everybody's overpaying, raving conditions. I've tried 5 times and I haven't got anything. They're like, I'm done. I'm going to go enjoy my life because last summer wasn't summer. And right now we're kind of in that. I suspect this is going to go probably at least to the middle, if not the end of August. And then we're going to find out what's going on in housing. But by then, more listings. I think we're up to 1.3 or 1.4. You're going to start seeing price drops because again, what is happening is sellers, the ones that are listing, all they've heard for freaking 9 months is how hot housing is. And they're just putting out stupid list prices. Stuff's going to age, it's going to sit. And then the biggest joy I'm going to have the next 4 or 5 months is I'm going to finally find motivated sellers because some people put it out, will take it off, but some people have to sell. And I'm going to buy stuff out of the MLS, Laura. That is my prediction. I am so excited.
Oh yeah. I actually know somebody here in Phoenix with MLS Mines and he bought 52 houses on MLS last month.
Last month?
Yeah.
What's his he or she's first name?
Ryan.
Ryan, shout out to you, brother. I need to talk to you. Can I interview you, Ryan? People need to hear this. There are deals on the MLS. I did not realize you can get 52 deals on the MLS. So
yeah,
shout out.
He's one of Jamil DMG's first students, Ryan Zolan. He's a super cool, he's a young, super young kid. He is really.
And this is coming from you, and I'm obviously much older than you, and you're calling him a young kid. Oh no, no.
No,
I feel like a grandparent now.
no, I look at him and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I can be your mom. He's young.
He's young.
He's super young. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you could do me a favor and maybe introduce me, CV wants to talk. I'd love to.
Yeah.
People need to hear this. I mean, I think my best year in 2010, I think I bought like 29 or 27 houses on the MLS, right?
Well,
Which is not bad for a
like
full-time employee.
I know.
Yeah.
Ryan's, you know what's funny is the software that Ryan uses, which I was like, oh, you MLS Mike, because I used to do that.
Yeah.
And I had a software from a guy that I used, and it was hard. You have to like it's like actually hard, like it's super hard to do that.
Yeah.
And then when I heard he was doing that, and I heard the amount of volume, I was like, holy crap, like what's your solution? And I found out he was using the same software a couple of years ago, and I was like, wow, like I think the most I got in a month was 3. Wow. And he got 52. So
yeah,
and with enough meat on the bones that he's been able to flip multiples of them.
Wow.
So yeah, he's doing great, but he's really cool. He's a super cool guy. So
I'd love to talk to him. But again, what people need to take from this is I really do, because what the reason I talk about what I'm doing in my business, right? 2020, I wrote roughly 250 offers and got 0. I didn't do that for my health. I just did that because the market was just tough, right? There was no inventory. But it's already starting to turn around. Yeah, I still did 6 deals, but they were all off market. But it wasn't a great year. But I can already see how the market's changing today, and people need to realize that motivated sellers were able to hide last year because everybody overpaid even for junk.
Yeah,
that's not going to become the case when you have the fear of overpaying, which is the new thing. You have buyers disappearing. You have days on market. Right. I don't know what the days on market in Arizona, but they could easily double with sellers putting stupid prices, buyers pulling back.
Yeah.
It's going to be painful. So what I wanted to talk about you, because you have an active business, you're probably right in the middle of what I call the slowdown. And when you're in it, you're like, is the world ending? Is it falling off a cliff? Did I do the right things?
Yeah.
I'm just curious what you're feeling.
I mean, probably 2 months ago, I had 15 active buyers, and now I have 2.
Wow.
And why? It's not because they bought something and they moved on. It's because they got what you're calling like, I'm done, I'm out.
Yeah.
Foo.
Yeah, foo. Yeah. I don't know if that's the way to pronounce it, but that's
and
what
like
I'm
a
saying.
couple of them are I'm done with Arizona. I'm gonna leave. Like one of them actually last week was in Oregon. Wow. Like I'm just gonna move to Oregon, you know. And that's a funny thing too, that you have to I think like as an investor, you have to remember is that when these people are making the decision to pull out of the market, it doesn't mean that they can magically show up mid-August and get back into it, because what do you have to do in order to have a place to live? If they don't currently own a house, they're having to sign another year lease or move into a rental. So what are you doing with those timelines? These people that are giving up, that aren't homeowners, they're 6 months to a year now locked into a rental. So if they gave up in June and they signed a year lease, they're not coming back until June 2022.
You're right.
Or like a couple months before that, because everyone starts like way too early. So they'll probably be back in April 2022. But they're like, people think, oh, they're going to start to see that we're not getting 45 offers and things aren't selling for $60,000 over list price. They're coming back. They'll be back. And it's like, no, like they physically can't. Like they can't now afford to break their lease and lose their security deposit. Like they're not coming back. And then you think about other extraneous like life circumstances. Like what if they got a divorce? What if they lost a job? What if they switch careers? Now they're out for 2 years, you know? So like someone who was in the perfect spot to buy in June and the market just spit them out, you know,
you're right.
They could be gone for a while. So
yeah,
that's something that I'm noticing for sure. And that I'm feeling, which is really unfortunate because some of these people we've been looking for 8 months, you know, we've looked at 50 houses and we put in 20 offers and they're a great qualifier. It's just that they don't have $60,000 extra on top of their down payment to go throw at somebody. So that's unfortunate. So I'm noticing that, But also with our flips, we are used to putting out these crazy list prices, and then they go, and sometimes they go for more, and they're going in a day. And now we are seeing, you know, we've got this beautiful listing, and it's been on the market for, I think, 10 days now, which is like, it's stupid to say that, because it's like
10 days.
really,
Oh my God.
10 days and you're losing it. But it's weird because we're noticing like, wow, that didn't go as quick as we thought. It didn't go in a weekend. What did we do? You know, and it's staged and it's beautiful and like everything's new. And it's like, what's happening? So I had like, and what's funny is I do this every year. This happens, like this actually happens every single year. It happens, like about a week before Thanksgiving, it starts.
Okay.
And then it really doesn't pick back up until like January 15th. And it's not like nothing's done during that time, but it's so much less. And you're just like, you know, it's going to slow down and you're prepared for it. Like if you're a home flipper, you're prepared that, hey, if I've got something that's going to be done, that's going to hit the market, then it's not going to be that great. You know,
Right.
Will I sell it? Yeah, but it's not going to be like a home run.
Yeah.
But every year at this time, when people are doing their last minute summer vacations and they're getting the kids ready to go back to school, it happens every year.
Wow.
And I know it, but I think that just because everything's been so volatile and exciting, and you know, it's been exciting on the sales side, but it's been terrible on the buy side. Like this happening is like, I'm like, oh, like when I'm thinking about like stuff we're gonna buy, I'm like, are we gonna have a hard time? Like, are we thinking it's gonna be good and it's not? Is it gonna get worse? And then you're just like, calm down. You know, this happens every year. It's fine. It's not any different than, just because this year has been crazy doesn't mean that right now isn't what always happens. So
yeah. Oh, I want to talk about that a little bit, because a lot of things have been disrupted, like timelines and whatnot. So what I hear you saying is late July, early August, you know, that last minute vacation makes total sense, right? People being spit out, being frustrated makes total sense. And it's part of the housing slowdown. Is there a pickup? Is it late August, early September? I'm trying to figure out between now and Thanksgiving, like you just said, is there a rebound, or is it just slow until next April?
Historically, over like the last decade, I've noticed a rebound.
Okay.
Where I'm like, it's because this is so funny to like phase everything per kids, but you know, like I've always had a kid the whole time I've had my license, and you're just getting back into like the school schedule and like what time you pick them up and release on Wednesday, and like they need this for this activity, and it is like a blur. Like you're just surviving, and then all of a sudden it's, oh my gosh, Halloween's in 3 days. I need to get you a costume. Like I'm like the worst costume mom, because it is so slammed work-wise during that period. So I found it always comes back. Okay. And I think that's kind of also like what you make it. Like if I was just, you know, if I wasn't currently working right now, I would probably be slow, but because I'm still getting to it, you know, like I think I'm gonna be fine in my business. Right. But as speaking for like the housing market as a whole, absolutely, I think it comes back. But will it plateau? Like when it comes back?
Yeah, well, that's my call.
Probably.
Yeah, that's my call. I think we have seen in most markets all of the appreciation for 2021, right, was front loaded. I think the last year is going to be flat. You know, go ahead and learn your market, all of that stuff, up, down 1%, that's flat to me. But yeah, I think we've front loaded appreciation. Does that make sense?
I agree. Yeah, I think it would probably come back, and because again, like it's supply and demand.
Exactly.
So if the demand has moved on and they've signed leases because they're food out, you know, you know, then yeah, it's going to plateau. Yeah.
And again, I think this is demand going away, frustration, buyer's remorse, whatever. I think more and more sellers are going to go like, oh, I want to sell now. And it's like, sorry, you missed the window. Window's kind of closed now. They're not going to hear that. I mean, sellers, when they make that decision, you know, listen to your agent, for goodness sakes, right? They're in the business, and the market in August 1st is not April 1st, right?
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean that it's bad. That's
No,
the
I'm not
thing.
saying that. No.
That's like the one thing I want if anyone's watching this, I don't want you to be afraid on any level. So if you're an agent, don't be afraid of, holy crap, I'm not going to be able to buy Christmas presents this year.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
going to be fine. It's going to come back. And
Yeah.
if you're scared, it even happened to me this week and I know better. I got a little scared.
Yeah.
And if you're an investor, don't stop buying deals. Don't get out. The people that lose in the investor world are the people that give up.
Yes.
You got to keep going, keep buying deals, keep doing what you're doing, keep looking for a rental property, keep looking for Airbnb options, keep looking for flip options, because you can't win if you don't play. So don't get scared. Even if it plateaus, everyone's going to be fine. Even if it dips a little bit, we're all going to be fine. There's opportunities to make money in all stages and phases of the market. There really is. And some of the people that I saw make the most money happened during the last crash. So if you can be a chameleon and you can pivot and you can change your strategy, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, that's wise words right there. The one thing I will say is if of a lot of investors, if you've only been in the game 2 or 3 years and you've only known a market like this, you may have learned some bad habits.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Yes. I mean, we could probably make a whole video on that about what to be. Yes. And things that you've been sloppy or lazy on that you've still won, you've still been fine. That's not going to be fine.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I just decided that will be episode number 3. So we will just cut that here. And before we do it though, Laura, if anybody wants to buy or sell in Arizona, how do you want them to get a hold of you?
You can call me. My phone number is 480-717-2070, or my Instagram's Laura Morby, no spaces.
Yeah, follow Laura Morby on Instagram just to smile every day. And yes, she is the top 1% agent in Arizona. You will be getting the best of the best. So thank you very much, Laura.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course.